honestly, you've done education. It's kind of like, it's not difficult, but it's scary. And I think that's the difficulty. It's that kind of, you can't see flash until it's flashed. So there's that unknown. I mean, it's much easier with digital than it was with film, but with LED, what you see is what you get. And I think that helps to democratize the whole experience of lighting. It's not so great from a modeler point of view when you put a 300-watt light at full power in their eyes. So there's a learning curve from that point of view. But flash has always been that little bit of mystique about it, which is
yeah, and it's very similar to this. The transition between film and digital, where, you know, there's a lot of mystique in film because you just don't know what your shot is going to be like until you have it back from the lab or you've developed it.
That's good film. Yeah. Yes, I can remember doing film and getting 2 Christmases on my roll of film, one at either end. That's how long it could be between taking the photo and actually getting them back again. Now, I mean, it's incredible. It's really good. I love all the young photographers who get their film cameras and they are like, oh, film, it's fantastic. It's this wonderful experience. No, it was a horrible experience. I think when it was your only option, it was absolutely terrible. But now that kind of retro feel, that slower pace is very much a desirable thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love it. I mean, that's exactly why, you know, I shoot on film sometimes, especially I shoot on film.
You're a brave man, very brave.
Well, so I started shooting film again only a little while ago on very old cameras, and the reason for that is really just because I wanted to find something that's different, difficult, and fun, and just slows the whole process down. That was the thing for me. Also, maybe it's something like, maybe I wanted to prove to myself that I could do that, just like, you know, my dad shot on film and my grandmother shot on film, and they managed to create some amazing photographs. And maybe this part of me that's always thought like, I don't know, maybe it's like, maybe I was cheating on digital. I don't know what it is. You know, it's this thing in your head. And so it's, but I enjoy the process. Like with, you know, like I said, with very old cameras, it's a very slow process. And, you know, I got into developing myself, although I use some shortcuts and it's not as drawn out as it used to be. But, you know, then I don't scan in the darkroom. You know, I basically just I use a digital camera to actually scan the negatives, if that makes sense. So it's kind of.
I've got a video about that. Yeah.
Ah, brilliant! I didn't know that, but I will check it out.
It's from 12 years ago, but I don't suppose the technology has changed that much. But
no,
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, your prints will outlive your digital files. That's the weird thing, isn't it? I've got prints from family. I'm sure we've all got family prints that have been handed down through the generation. No one's going to go into my Dropbox and pass that on to the next generation. That's that, isn't it?
That's it. That's exactly what I thought. Not too long ago, my mom was like getting rid of lots of stuff from the attic in the basement or whatever. And there were boxes of really old photographs, probably from around the turn of the 20th century, so early 1900s, whatever. And she just got rid of all these prints. I'm thinking like, wow, that's, you know, again, it's just like you said, nobody's going to look at images on a hard drive in 100 years' time and think, you know, oh, how different life was back then. You know, so it's weird.
Yeah, it is. But hey, maybe that's the future. Maybe AI will come in and be able to take one image and extrapolate other scenes from it. Who knows where the future might go with that? So maybe it can do things now that will help us bring the past back to life. That'd be nice.
You know, it's already done. I saw a thing that I thought was absolutely fascinating. There was a thing where it was a bit of film of actually, you know, moving cinematic film that was shot in, I think it was it San Francisco, New York? I can't remember. Basically, again, so for around the turn of the 20th century, so around 1900, 1904, something like that. It was shot in black and white. It was basically, you know, probably 8 frames per second, something like that, really jerky. And it was just a camera mounted on the back of a cable car or something. It was like a street car, and it was driving through the streets of, I think it was New York City, and you could just see life going on, people doing their thing, like horses and carriages and like, people by the side crossing the road, whatever. Just normal everyday life. And the original film looks like the way you would imagine that. Jerky, black and white, pretty, not very sharp. You can't really see very many things. There's no detail in it, blah, blah, blah. But then somebody took this and basically completely AI'd the living daylights out of it. And everything was corrected. The color was amazing. It was sharp as heck. The frame rates have been adjusted. Additional frames have been created, to bring it up to 24 frames per second. And you watch it back. The most bizarre thing happens. You watch this back, and this looks like a scene from a TV show or a newsreel. That it is really bizarre. All of a sudden, it's like you're looking through a time machine. It's literally like you're seeing life as it actually was, because you have this weird imagination of life being jerky and in black and white.
Yeah,
back
everything
then.
before 1940 was black and white and not very smooth. Yeah. And that's a great use of AI to improve what we've had before and make it more relevant and up to date. It's not all bad.
And of course, AI is also going to come into video editing, in the not too distant future. So
it is. I think that's going to be fun. I think the next thing, as a video editing point of view, I worry about the audio industry, the music industry, your side of things. So I use music sites to Artlist to get my music with the correct copyright for all the videos. We spend a lot of time and a lot of money on that every year. But it can't be too long before AI is able to just say, okay, you want a bit of pop music that's 32 seconds long, that sounds a little bit like that. Here we go. Boom, here's 5 choices for you.
I think that's already happening. Yeah, I think that's happening.
I think it's going to be the next thing. It's kind of that's it. It's going to be AI-generated music.
Yeah. I mean, the minute AI allows me to basically just upload the raw files and it'll create the entire edit, that'll be the most beautiful time saver for me. In the style, like, for instance, now you can, and I can't remember what the app is, but basically, as a wedding photographer, you can basically upload all of your raw images. It'll create perfect edits in your own style because it's learned from your previous, edited shots and whatever. And Tommy told me about it. He was talking about it not too long ago. And out comes basically the finished product in your own style. And if we can get to the point where I can just upload, a whole bunch of videos that I've made, and then AI will basically take all the raw material and it'll just create a perfect edit in my own style.